let's turn to Kate Tulenko. She's the founder and CEO of Corvus Health. Kate, great having you. And first, could you help our viewers better understand what bird flu is and especially what it isn't?
So bird flu is a virus that usually infects wild waterfowl, geese, ducks, herons, and every once in a while it transmits to chickens and other domestic poultry. And usually it's not a problem for humans, but when there's an intense contact with infected birds, such as by farm workers or poultry workers, they can get infected. The real risk is when it passes to cattle, it can mix with other mammalian viruses and then spread more widely to humans. So that's what we're concerned about. What bird flu is not, it's not the regular human flu, it's not COVID, and it's currently not a pandemic, but it has twice in the past, once in 1957, once in 1968, caused global pandemics. The one in 1957 actually killed 1 million people worldwide.
Yes, and human cases have been reported, and that is something I'd like to leverage your expertise and your science training. Are we moving towards a pandemic?
I think not yet. There have only been 67 cases, and the vast majority of those were people who had very close contact with infected birds, and only one person died. That person was older and had multiple chronic diseases. So it's not a time for concern, extra concern, but it's also not a time for complacency. And we urge people to not eat, raw poultry, raw eggs, to not feed raw poultry to their cats. And also, if you find a large number of dead waterfowl, dead wild birds, report it to your local health department or your local animal department.
That's interesting, and I'd like to come back in a minute to this. But first of all, can outbreaks like these be prevented in any way? Can we do anything about it?
Yeah, so the best way to prevent it is vaccination of the poultry flocks. There is a vaccination for chickens against bird flu, also trying to prevent them from having contact with wild birds. You also see the secondary prevention of the culling of the infected cattle, infected birds. And unfortunately, there's been about $2 to $5 billion in economic damage due to this culling, but it's absolutely necessary because if the infections become more widespread, it causes even more more economic damage.
I'd like to understand a quick thing. Do we have a correlation with seasons? Is it going to go away by itself first? And second, if it stays, what should we do with our pets and other animals that may be roaming around?
Great. So yeah, great question. So the bird flu season tends to be the same as the human season. So it's the winter. So hopefully in the next couple months it will lighten up. But in the meantime, people still need to take precautions. If you have not been vaccinated already for the human flu, would recommend that you do that. We know that all hospitals, if someone tests positive for influenza A, we're also having them tested for the bird flu. And regarding your animals, once again, don't feed them raw chicken, raw poultry, or eggs, and hands off any dead wild birds that you might find.
Thank you for your valuable advice. That's Kate Tulenko. Great having you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.